when people with lived experience are making the decisions and sort of implementing the sort of real information out there to the government, and it's being implemented, then it's just working a little better because it's coming from a place where it's definitely going to work in some sense. Because why would people in the street say this will work if it's not going to work? So
Um, I that was one I gave probably the most thought about, was why it is so important, and it is definitely one of the things I get the most talking to people when I'm out and about. And what would have been nice during my time bouncing around often on the streets is because it is so difficult to go through all this if you can't trust the person who's on the other end, or if you don't feel like that they've lived through the same stuff. There's a barrier. And then coming in, if you have problems with drugs especially, or alcohol, and it's helped drive you out onto the streets, or if you're just living on the streets from any reason whatsoever, like, it is embarrassing. It is personally difficult to get through all this and talk and to move past it. And like, you're digging up some of the worst moments of your life and sharing it with another person. And if you can't do that with somebody you trust, it's impossible. And that bit of shared experience is trust.
So I don't think there's any way of denying that the two go hand in hand. I think by looking at them together and trying to address the two of them together, it's a ideal opportunity for us to get them the support they need on all fronts at the one time. I think it's a massive opportunity to try and address them. Whilst we've got that person and they're looking for help, that we get them all the help that they need. And whether that just be, if it's, for example, a homeless person looking to try and get somewhere to live, that we also take advantage of that and get them signposted to other services to help them while we've got that opportunity, and vice versa. If people are going to get help with their addiction or their substance use issues, that we clarify with them what their living arrangements are and see if they need any support on that front. It's a massive opportunity. I think it's so important that we look at the two of them together.
When they're talking to somebody who's lived through it, they understand fighting those destructive habits. And that seems to be a really big boost for a lot of people, is when they can find somebody who understands what they're going through and somebody they feel won't judge them. And that seems to be more prevalent, is that there's somebody that you can talk to who knows what it's like.
I think from the interviews I've carried out and the feedback I've had back, what appears to be working very well is that once people can get the proper care, that it is actually helping them. Once they can get through the barriers to getting the proper care and the support they need, it's actually quite effective. And what seems to be helping people is to get a stable accommodation, a stable environment around them, being given their own level of responsibility. The staff who are working in these services, I've had nothing but praise about. Particularly people with lived experience, they like the fact that they can communicate well with them, and they don't feel like people are looking down on them. They feel like they're there to help them, and they almost see them almost like a friend and a source of support. So I think that once people can get, and I'm going to use it, I'm getting a lot of positive feedback from Simon community during the interviews, and the environment they create, that it seems to really help people once they can get into that structured, safe environment and be given a level of responsibility. The staff there seem to be what's needed, so I think that's working well.
There's lack of communication with what I'm getting, but I think it's most important that the person gets the service that they require and gets the needs as well, and the proper care from the housing. Like, the housing needs to know that about like the addiction stuff and all that sort of stuff. You know about that, but unfortunately sometimes they don't. You know what I mean? So, but there is some positive stuff, but that's the stuff that I'm picking up on.
need to happen. It has to be recognised for the government. There has to be a leeway, and there has to be something out there that is making people on the street believe, because right now there isn't, and that's why I said about Housing First is really your only link right now. It's the only thing out there.
The organisation dealing with the homeless aspect, and if they are getting care with the addictions, there needs to be better communication there. A couple of interviewees I've spoken to are totally unaware as to whether or not these organisations are speaking to each other. They don't know what information is being passed, which I don't think is fair. I don't think it's productive either. And I also think that we could be, from the interviewees I've spoken to, there seems to be a lot of issues with mental health as well that aren't really being addressed, which could also be addressed in conjunction with homelessness and substance use issues.